Hello everybody, it's Marcia from Oils and Wellness with Marcia, and we're going to finish up chapter 12 on Ula, Finding Balance in an Unbalanced World today. The title is Under the Surface by Dusty Hardy. We've dated for 5.5 years and been married for almost 16 years. Our time together was equal to half of my life. After a few previous separations and reconciliations, and more smaller, less formal fallouts, I wanted to believe that we still had a chance. And so, adamantly wanted this to be true that I refused to consider anything else. Why would I? That's essentially what we told our 3 kids months before he moved out. We were creating some space between us and exploring why we were so unhappy and argued all the time. It was our attempt to avoid divorce, he said. We wanted to stay married and be happy. I believed him when he assured the kids that everything was going to be okay. We were never been dishonest with each other, and we were both committed to raising these 3 honest, trust-seeking, curious, and emotional, intelligent beings. Ideally, for example. On New Year's Day, I opened the email from my husband, letting me know that it was time he wouldn't be coming back home. The email, really? I heard it over and over for a week, letting the words sink in. It was well written and included a review on how stifled we both felt our relationship, how fundamentally different we were all in our approach to everything, from fitness to running our business and more. He assured me there was no blame, that it was just who we are. He explained that he wished we'd figure out how to be the best versions of ourselves while together. Alas, we hadn't been at all. He described the amicable divorce, one without judges and attorneys and ugly fights, one where we could raise above the status quo, say we're giving it our best shot, but realize when it was time to try something else, one where we remained friends. I told myself then and repeated it now. I am so grateful that he had the guts to call it out for what it was. Otherwise, we might be unhappy and unhealthy together. I don't feel grateful then, but though if I repeated it enough, it might come true. Keeping the news mostly to myself for over the month, I joined a couple of girlfriends for dinner. There had been plenty of time for the pain of rejection, the guilt of how I'd contributed to the mess that for so long, and the worry about what the next to settle in. My birds are singing in the wall. I have a clock that goes off every hour with different birds. They already will be in a bottle of wine when I arrived. Before I ordered my meal, just as the cabaret touched my lips, the tears flowed full force. I apologized over and over that I should have warned them about my situation before showing up publicly losing it. My marriage was over. I was scarred. There was no way I could possibly survive this emotional, financially, and my poor kids. Oh, and he wants to be friends. Really? I recently told him I wanted him to just disappear. Kind of like dying, but without actually dying. I told him that I didn't want to be his friend and that I didn't like him. I was hurt and so afraid, but it was almost this time that I realized my deep hurt and all encompassing fear that really turned into the exhausting anger. I'd never experienced anything like it before, like a pot ready to boil. My anger lay just under the surface that took over any time my phone would buzz from the text from him. I was already angry before I answered his calls, but the simple text would take it over the edge. I've been mad before. I've been angry too, but it always seemed to just kind of disappear after a day or two. It was never like this. I tried everything. I adopted the no contact strategy of interacting with him, thanks to the many A Woman Scorned blogs I was constantly reading. Thinking of fewer dealings with him would likewise limit the chances of anger. I tried to distract myself from travel, girls' nights out, and work, listen to hypnotherapy sessions on YouTube, and focused on letting go of past relationships, releasing anger and resentment, and clearing negativity. I surrendered myself with family and friends. I surrounded myself with family and friends who were exhausting them with my journey, offering encouraging words and never-ending promises that everything would be all right. I flip-flopped between feeling sorry for myself, sorry for my soon-to-be ex-husband and my kids, and finding moments of clarity that promised to get me through this. But they were all underlined with the anger. Wrestling with anger as the holidays approached was honestly the most difficult thing I ever had to do. It was compounded by new information and new arguments regarding the terms of our pending divorce. Things that created additional hardship, both emotionally and financially. I looked at my ULA goals, read through the workbook from ULA Palazzo, and pulled out another goal sticker. I noticed the goal that should have been in the workbook but not there, so I wrote down the new goal: to forgive my husband. I sent a very vulnerable, honest, and not angry email to my husband. I admitted that anger had promoted and entered into every interaction I'd had with him over the last year. Most importantly, I forgave him. I forgave him for being selfish and for acknowledging I had done the same. I thanked him for some things that explained that while his thanks and appreciation had always been important to me in the past, from this day forward I would be fulfilled instead of simply knowing that I forgave. That I am committed to letting go of anger, fear, and hurt. He didn't respond to the email. He didn't need it. He was enough. It was enough to write it down and take a deep breath. My goal was complete. I feel lighter and confident that no matter how painful and scary this transaction continues to be, I'm stronger, more compassionate, more loving, having experienced it. I do support the anger will I do suspect that anger will surface again, but I am not equipped with the experience and wisdom of recognition. It will make choices about it will serve me and those around me. Anger, it has no place in the existing positive path you're on. Whether it's angry outbursts or harboring resentment and feelings of victimhood from the past, anger eats away at your soul and robs you from bliss and joy that you deserve. So what you can do to process your anger and remove the triggers from your life. 1. Stop being a victim and put anger into perspective. If anger is directly toward you in the past, or if you're experiencing it right now, work to reframe it from something else, something less threatening by asking, could this situation be pushing me in a better direction? If your spouse cheated on you, did you eventually divorce lead to a completely new life? Did your alcoholic father actually make you more independent? Did the arguments over household chores lead you to hire some help so you actually have quality time with your kids? Only you can put the positive spin on the triggers in your life and on any past anger you endured. Okay? Decide how to appropriately vent your anger. Don't let your anger build up like steam in the tea kettle until it explodes. Speak your mind. Confront other angers with calm responses. Ask for more mature behavior. And, most importantly, have these critical conversations as soon as possible and the resentment doesn't build. And lastly, clear the anger through positive new habits. Meditation, exercise, healthy eating, laughter, exploring new hobbies. Anything that puts you in a positive frame of mind will help you clear the inclination toward anger and clear the remnants of anger that is directed toward you in the past. And that's all I have for you today. Tomorrow we'll be starting chapter 13. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're learning things from this book. I know I am. Towards the end, on a live video I'll be doing later, we're gonna draw the wheel and we're gonna do this together, and hopefully we can get something out of this as a learning point for all of us involved. I see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Love you guys. Ta-ta.